I'm a hero, I'm for hire, I'm a seller, I'm a buyer. Conversations with me in my lounge as we scream. You know me, my Morgan, subject board, follow him. I'm the comic man. I'm the comic man.
Oh, hello, true believers. It's another episode of Comic Conversations here. I'm here, and I got a very special guest. Call him the man behind the mask. Kind of like that. There was an Alice Cooper song, called Man Behind the Mask, and I even got a video intro made up for him. So without any further ado, here we go. And I think you already know who it is.
No one cared who I was till I put on the mask.
Got Bobby De La Ghetto.
Station, brother. Good to see you, man. Good to be here.
I'm always glad to talk to my friends. I haven't talked to you in a while on a stream, but we talk in the chat a lot, like on Matt Spidey and a few shows, Legion Comics sometimes. But it's always a pleasure to have you on here. And we got Easy Comic Reader is stopping by. Hey, Mike, it's good to see you, man. I ain't seen you in a while. I hope you're doing well. I hope you have it's a good Thanksgiving, and everybody out watching. I hope you have a good day with the family. And he's we got him all the way down there in the Lone Star State, holding it down for us. And we got Bobby in is it the Show Me State, right? Are you in the Missouri side or the Kansas side?
Oh, KCK, yeah, Kansas City, Kansas. But yeah, I grew up literally on state line. Yeah, I grew up on the state line where one side of the street was Missouri and the other side is Kansas. Yeah, but yeah. So it's just a stone's throw. Yeah, it's just a stone's throw away. But I'm on the KCK side. Yeah.
All right, Jayhawk State.
Yo,
go Chiefs.
Chiefs. Yep.
I tell you what, though, the Chiefs are like the new franchise. I mean, they've been doing as well this year, I guess. But
I'm saying, yeah,
it's all right. I root for the Cincinnati Bengals, and we always suck. So.
Yeah, no, they want to do it the hard way this year. They don't want to get no help from the refs or the nobody, man. We're gonna do it all. We're gonna do it. Yeah, it's gonna be the greatest comeback since JC. Yeah.
Well, I hope they pull it out. Anybody except Dallas. I don't like Dallas too much.
Bro, that's at Thanksgiving we got a game with the Dallas Cowboys on Thanksgiving. Yeah, 3:00 game. Yeah, man. So that's gonna be Cowboys versus Indians. We'll see what happens. Yep, I'm going with the Chiefs this time. Yeah, man.
I remember back in the day watching when they had their coach was Marty Schottenheimer.
Yeah,
at stadium, and that place was it's still loud now, but it was so loud that is it still the same stadium or is it a new stadium now?
No, it's still the same stadium. Yeah, it's the loudest stadium. Yeah. It's declared the loudest.
And it's the loudest one. Remember Derek Thomas, may he rest in peace.
Yeah, man.
He died too young, and then Christian Okoye.
Yeah.
I remember when they got Joe Montana there for a while. They had Joe Montana.
In
there, and they were making the playoffs. And Schottenheimer was a pretty good coach, though. I mean, really.
Yeah, he was damn good. Yeah, that's what made me a fan. You know what I mean? I come from, my dad was a big fan, and my brothers. But in our family, we let you choose. Who you want to be, who your team's going to be. And when Schottenheimer came, like the Chiefs were in a losing. After they won Super Bowl IV, they lost for a long time.
Yeah.
And then finally they got Schottenheimer and Christian Okoye, and they started winning. It was a big deal just to make it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And that's when I decided I'm going to ride with the Chiefs. Win, lose, or draw, I'm a Chiefs fan. So, yeah. And then
before watching highlights is Lynn Dawson, right? He was the quarterback, I think.
Yep. Rest in peace. He's
been inside the NFL. There's a picture of him. That's what I like about them old athletes. There's a picture of him on the sideline smoking a Marlboro.
Yep.
It's like you remember the New York Mets, Keith Hernandez used to play for the Mets, first baseman. You see him smoking cigarettes in the dugout between the 80s, but the Mets were kind of the 80s Mets were kind of the party boys, though. They like to do a little bit of that Colombian marching powder, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh shit! Yeah, that was a different time. It was a different time.
So I don't really have a lot. Like I don't really like ask questions like I used to. I used to do like a list of questions like I was a nerd, but I figured that was for nerds, for like bookworm nerds, not comic nerds. So we just kind of wing it, you know.
Yeah, man.
I will ask you, like, did you start? So you started collecting toys and stuff at an early age, like or comics?
Yeah, man. Always, like I said, I had two older brothers. Oh, I still do, yeah, and they're like 9 years older than me. And we just had comics, they had comics just laying around the house. We didn't know about bags and boards, they just read them and threw them down. They didn't care. And Mad
Same here.
Magazine.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just like, we didn't know nothing about that, back in the day. And so as a little kid, I would go and I'd look at these things. I couldn't even read, but I'd be looking at the pictures and trying to figure it out. And like, I just love the artwork. Like I had many issues as a kid, you know what I mean? Yeah, if I'd have been born during the Spartans, my dad probably would have thrown me off that mountain and shit, you know what I'm saying? But luckily, my dad was cool, my mom was cool, they loved me. But yeah, I was I was dyslexic, and I had a stuttering problem when I was a baby, when I was little kid. I would get excited and I would be thinking of things, and they couldn't get them out of my mouth fast enough. I had to teach myself to slow down.
Your mouth had to catch up with your brain, right?
Yeah. Exactly, man. Exactly. And I had those metal braces on my legs when I was a baby. Like I don't really remember them because I seen pictures of them. Yeah, my brothers and them. They said my nickname was Kickstand. I thought it was for a different reason. I thought because I had a long. Well, no, it was because I had these metal braces. It's because I had these metal braces on my legs. Yeah, but luckily my legs straightened out, and you know what I'm saying. So yeah, I really, like I said, I wouldn't remember those except for I seen pictures of it. But yeah, I was dyslexic and I seen stuff backwards, and so it was like a tough for me to learn to read. You know what I mean? But like I said, comics is what made me want to. I started getting into these characters and training my eye to you go from left to right, and it makes sense. Oh, look, he's throwing the ball over here, he's catching it over here. You know what I mean? Yeah, and so I owe a lot to comics. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and they also, they kind of help, like teach me about moral side. Being good guys and being bad. Being I want to be a good person. You know what I'm saying? I want to be the hero in the story. You know what I'm saying? I try to stand up for what's right, and I don't like bullies and stuff like that. And you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like I said, I owe a lot to comics. Yeah.
You know
And
what? I can relate to that, Bobby, because I was born with muscular dystrophy, so I couldn't really go out and play a lot. So like comics and movies were my companions. You know what I mean? Like I'd be playing with my G.I. Joes and Transformers and He-Man, and I'd make my own stories up. And like I was looking like you, like before I could even read, I'm looking at pictures of like hot stuff, like them little Richie Rich and all the cartoon books. And then my dad would bring me back from the Army. He was in the Marines, but when he left the Marines, he joined the National Guard, and he retired after 20 years. But they'd go every year, to a different base somewhere to train, and he'd bring back comics.
Wow.
So then he'd bring back Sergeant Rock and Star Trek comics and Star Wars and hot stuff, like I was saying, and like the Charlton, like the Fighting Marines, Charlton, and G.I. Joe comics and Superman and Captain America. Hey, Kenneth, how you doing? Good to see you, man.
Good to see you, Mr. Bird.
So I'm just saying I can totally relate. And I probably had a little, I don't know if I had dyslexia, but when it comes to like math or something like that, I had some kind of disability on it or learn a bit this. I just couldn't figure it out, the numbers. Now, if you tell me how much, like when I used to, back in my wilder days, I could tell you how much a dime bag costs or something. But that's about it. I don't try to get incriminate myself too much, but you know what I'm saying, though. Like I could tell you, like, okay, we get that, and that's the only math I knew. You know what I mean? So, like,
yeah, man, street man.
People act like we us Americans don't know the metric system. I said they ain't never smoked nothing before, I guess.
Yeah, man. And yeah, but we moved. When I was a kid, we lived on State Line, and we moved to these apartments. And they were brand new. These apartments were nice, man. I thought I was in the Baxter building. I thought we moved into the Baxter building. Man, they had a swimming pool. I grew up cushy, man. I can't believe it. Like I said, knock on wood. I had a mom and a dad, and like I said, I look at I count my blessings. You know what I'm saying? I always count my blessings. And like I said, I love this country, you know what I'm saying? I love, I grew up here. This is the only, like, I wonder sometimes if I'd been born in France or Africa, would I still be cool? Would I still be myself, or would I be completely different, shaped by, that area, you know what I'm saying? But I'm glad I grew up where I did and when I did, you know what I'm saying? I'm here, like I said, in the middle of the map in Kansas. My folks, they came from Texas, and my brothers, and like I said, they moved over here to Kansas. And then, I grew up, and we moved to these apartments, and then I met this kid, and he broke out his comic collection, and he showed me these Avengers, and he said, the Avengers are the mightiest team, and nobody can beat these guys. And he had a bunch of them laid after I started looking through them, and I picked up Avengers number 127. I believe that's the number. It's a Gail Kane cover, and it's got Thor and the Inhumans and the FF on it. And I was like, wow. And I like the Thing. I had seen him before. I didn't really know too much about him, but I always liked him. So I was looking at these comics. I was like, that's cool, man. And then, like, right after I left there, like, we lived literally right next to a 7-Eleven, and there was a Shakey's Pizza Parlor and 7-Eleven. They were like in the same building, like separated. But so I went to 7-Eleven. They had a spinner rack. I looked on there. There was Fantastic Four issue number 150. And that was the continuation of that Avengers story. I picked it up. I looked, and I was like, well, that's the same way, this book ended. It went over to here. And so I bought that issue. It was only a quarter. I consider that the first comic I bought with my own money. And I went back and I seen that kid. I said, hey, look, man, this is this one. And he was like, oh, wait a minute. That's not the same story. And then, oh, it is. It's continuation over in this one. So I felt like I had showed him something like, hey, man, look, So after that, that's what got me hooked, though. I was like, I'm going to read these. I said, I'm going to collect these from now on, and that's where I went to the 7-Eleven on that spinner rack, and you were at the mercy to whatever they ordered or whatever they got.
Exactly, yeah.
And yeah, some kids might have came before and bent them all over looking for whatever, you know what I mean? Yeah, and so you were just looking for, comics were only a quarter then, and it seemed they didn't make them fast enough. Or there was only one cover, there wasn't 5 covers and a blank cover. They didn't have none of that stuff back then.
Yeah.
And so it took me a couple of years, and then I found my LCS, which is Clint's Comics, and which is they've been there for almost 60 years, brick and mortar, but they're about to move. The building they're in is collapsing, it's falling down, so they're having to move, and they're moving like it's going to be like, instead of being 30 minutes away, they're going to be like an hour and 30 minutes away or something. So yeah, it's bittersweet, man. It's going to be a longer drive, or I don't know what I'm going to do as far as, because I hate change, you know what I'm saying? So, but I'll have to work. But it's a blessing for them because they had to get out of there because that place was a mess. Yeah.
Dilapidated and everything.
Yeah.
Hey, we got John's comments friends in the chat. He made you a good compliment. He said, Bobby's the real deal. Artist, collector, content creator, reviewer. And
love you, man. Yeah, John. Yeah, John's a real deal, man.
We got Rich here too. Another CBC award winner for Comic Presser of the Year. I got some stuff I might have to send you, Rich. We were talking about that the other night. But yeah, man, it's what. But like I remember there was no LCS when I was a kid. Like, okay, I probably started getting into them like later than you did, but like I remember going to the 7-Eleven, same place, that spinner rack. Like you said, you're at their mercy, right? And I remember like, oh, they got ASM, and it was when Tom McFarlane's doing it, right? It was like ASM 322 or something. And I missed a couple weeks on the allowance. I guess I didn't get to go back. So I missed a couple of issues, but it was like called the Assassin Nation or something. Assassination Plot.
With the Red Skull.
Yeah, the Red Skull was like behind it, and he sends like Sabretooth as his assassin, right?
Uh-huh.
And so I missed I think I missed a couple issues, the last part of it. And that's the first time I begged my mom And you know, in the back of the comics, right? They had like Mile High Comics and a couple other places you get back issues. And I was like, Mom, I got to get issue 324 or I think it was 325. I was like, I got to get. And she's like, okay. And that's the first time I actually ordered a back issue, you know. But that's like the first I bought my money, and I would get. But we didn't really care about, like, remember you were talking about the bags and boards back in the day. Like, I would just take it and just like, okay, we're done reading this one. Okay, I'll just toss it over here in the corner. We'd have them spread out, like we'd have them in the magazine rack, you know, like the little magazine tray or whatever that like your grandma would have. Like it looked like a, you know, what I'm talking about, like a little piece of wood, like you know, we just shove them in there.
Yeah.
like you know, when you're like 8 years old, you're not thinking, man, I got to finish that Avengers run. I got to fill in the holes in the gaps in this run. You know, you don't think like that. You know, if you missed it, you missed it. Right?
Yeah, you're not thinking, oh, this got to be pristine. You're just happy I have it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And I've read them so many times, man. You know what I mean? I love my comics. That's just the way it was. I try. I mean, I take better care of them now, but I still love reading them. You know.
Oh yeah, man, for sure. Yeah.
I was reading this one just a minute before the show, and I mean, I love anything comics, man. I'm just like, even if they stop printing them today, like everybody's worried about like no new comics, but we still have plenty to go look for.
That's what I'm saying, man.
It would be sad, man, but you know, we'd adapt. Us collectors always adapt.
I collected enough content. I think if I started reading on my back issues and stuff I got now, it'll last me the rest of my life.
Look at Easy Comic said we used to put them in the produce bags from the grocery store.
Yeah, man. You used to roll it up, put it in your back pocket, whatever. Yeah, man. Pass it, let your friend look at it. Yeah.
We might have like a old like tomato box or something like, or like an egg crate. We just put them in a box. I put them in my toy box, Bobby. I would put them in the toy box.
I remember I used to take my X-Men number 96 inside my trumpet case to school, man. Yeah, I used to put that in there and go to school with it and show it around. Hey, man, look at this. This is cool shit.
I used to put my G.I. Joe comics in a Trapper Keeper folder, and I'd carry it. I'd put them in, like, you know how it had the little side pockets, you know? And I'd put them in like one of the folders and put it in my Trapper Keeper and just carry them around in the backpack, you know? So, well, we didn't think anything was going to be worth anything, man. I mean, I'm talking about like Amazing Spider-Man 250 and like all the depth of Hobgoblin stuff, man. Because like I know everybody likes the Green Goblin, right? I like Green Goblin too, but to me, the Hobgoblin is the guy because he was just like he did not give a fuck. He was like, you know what I mean? He's always out thinking Spider-Man, and finally Spider-Man, you know, like there's the one I'm talking about is when John Romita Jr. was doing it, you know, and there's like an issue where in the box corner it said, "This comic's great, steal it."
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of fun.
I remember I almost took.
I wonder if he got in trouble for putting it.
They told him don't do that no more. Yeah. People that own the comic book stores said, "Hey, man, don't do that no more." You know.
So I know you're a big Fantastic Four guy. What's some of your favorite storylines, man, for the FF?
Well, I love them all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that Kirby Stan Lee run is just one of the best, man. They did 100 issues and they built the Marvel universe. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the Fantastic Four was just a whole different deal because they were like the first family, you know, they were like related, and we're not going to wear masks. We're just going to, we'll tell you who we are. You know, we don't go in disguises, you know, so we're adventurers. We just live it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And, you know, there's so many people that came out of there, so many characters, you know, Dr. Doom, the Black Panther, Submariner came back out of there, Galactus, Silver Surfer. I mean, you can just name, you know, I mean, so there's so many Inhumans, you know, I could go on and on. Yeah, it's just, but I love that whole run. And then, of course, I'm a George Perez fan. You know, I'm a Buscema guy, so I love that one. And then George Perez, John Byrne, when they came in and did theirs, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And
George Perez, man, I really was upset when he died, you know, because like what he did when he worked on the Avengers and the new Teen Titans, you know, I think, I don't know, man. It's like he was like the guy, like, And I heard people talk about like some was it like Roy Thomas or somebody was like, hey Jeff, we got Callie here. Callie Cox, my boy in the Black Order Comic Club. Thanks for coming in, guys. And Jeff's my buddy in California. He's gonna go. I talked to him and Aaron, Psychotronic Squirt Gun. They're gonna go.
Yeah,
they're gonna fly down. They're gonna fly down to my house, and then we're gonna drive down to Charlotte next year, man.
Oh shit, road trip. That sounds fun as hell.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait, man. Hopefully we can get you down there one time, man. I'd like to get you down there, man, for real.
Yeah, man. I don't travel too well. I like to stay in my it's hard. Like Batman don't leave Gotham. I don't like to leave out of my little, I got to go on my nightly patrols and hold it down.
Well, maybe
but
I'd like to come out there one time because I'd like to meet up you and Swag and Beckerman, and
hell yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Kansas City crew, right?
Come on down here. Yeah, Planet Comic Con here is coming up again. They're already starting to release, some of the people that are coming. Yeah, it's going to be a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess Circumstances down there too, right, Marcus?
Yeah, man. Yeah, yep.
So you got there's a lot of the YouTube comic guys in the same place. It's kind of cool. I noticed that too with Portland's like it too. You got like Sleepy Reader and Bueller and all those guys are in the North Pacific.
That's what when I seen those guys and they had the Portland crew, man, I was like, why don't I have that here? You know what I mean? I started reaching out, and I met up with Marcus. I seen him on a chat, and I'm like, you're from Kansas City? I'm from Kansas City, and we met up, and then him and Beckerman are tight. And Beckerman, when you meet him, man, I mean, he's tied into so many people. You know what I mean? Creators and community members. Yeah. He's got his fucking hand on the pulse, you know what I mean? Yeah. So now we're starting to go. We're starting to hang out with creators because he knows those guys. Kyle Stram and Jim McFood and all them. They know Beckerman real good, so it's like no big deal, man. Yeah, Scotty Young and all those guys, man. I'm like, damn, it's becoming a whole nother level. Yeah, man. We got a lot of talented people here in KC, creators. We got Jason Aaron and Scotty Young, and I met him I met him a lot of times. You know what I mean? Yeah, that you just run into him, so it's cool. Yeah, I got meeting them, getting their autographs and stuff like that. Man, it's fun. Yeah,
Scotty's a cool guy. He was at Heroes Con. He likes to go down to Heroes Con, and man, he's got some great artwork. I mean, people like. But you know what? I don't think people give enough credit for his writing. He's a pretty good writer,
I think he's doing. He's getting pretty good credit, and in fact, he's going to become doing a new Lobo series. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to that because he's going to be. Yeah, that's going to be awesome. I don't. They kind of carved out a niche with those covers, but like he's more than that. I always tell people he's more than that. And,
man.
But he does do some great cover. I like that kind of stuff though. That little cartoony caricatures. I got a Captain America he signed for me at Heroes Con, and it's got Captain America's mom comes and goes, "You're not going to play with your adventure friends until you clean your room." So I just like the way he puts them on there, the little marbles or whatever they call it. And but we're talking about George Perez too. Like I was going to say was like Roy Thomas. I think it was Roy Thomas said that a lot of guys didn't want to write team books because there's too many characters to draw, right? But they said George Perez thrived on that.
Yeah,
like putting as many characters he could on a cover. Like the Teen Titans, he'd do that. And
his artwork.
I'll take the job if nobody wants it. And that's also a good advice for young people out there. Like if there's a job somebody doesn't want to do, maybe you could do it, and that's your foot in the door if nobody else wants to do it. If you're like, well, I'll take it.
Yeah, man, that'd be a niche. Yeah, but George Perez was one of my all-time favorites, and I just love his artwork, And it was like one of the first time as a kid, I was concerned about the characters. I really didn't even look at the writer or the artist. But when I noticed his name, I was like, that's an Hispanic name, and I was like, he's doing this, man. Maybe I could do this too. It inspired me. And then I was lucky enough. I met him a couple of times. He came through Kansas City at a couple of cons. and I met him and John Byrne. They came together. That's when I got hooked on going to cons. And he was just the coolest, man. Yeah, real nice dude, man, and just upbeat. And yeah, like I said, I got a sketch from him. It's like one of my number one, all time favorite things. Yeah, he drew the thing holding my son as yeah, and that's like, yeah, man, that's my favorite. Yeah,
Well, that even mean more to you that he drew a picture of you holding your son.
Yeah,
and that he did that more personalized, like. And well, they say he was a good guy too. Like, I didn't really get to meet him. I wish I regret I haven't getting to meet him, but there's a couple others I regret. I didn't get to meet Jim Shooter either. But his art, the guys like that though, they may be gone. Like, Big John Bashima and all them guys might be gone, but and Kirby, but their work lives on forever.
Yeah, man.
I'm hoping Steranko, I hope I can meet him before he gets, because he's not getting any younger, man. I was hoping he's going to be here at con this coming year, but I don't know. He's getting up there, but he likes to go to the cons, is what I heard. I did get to meet him, so I'm happy that I got to do that.
Yeah, he's a real cool dude. Yeah, man. I've met a lot of people. Like I said, I've met a lot of creators, and knock on stone, man. It was just that became my thing. You know what I mean? Back then, I didn't know about. I mean, I didn't know no YouTube and stuff. It was just my LCS and going to the cons and stuff. Yeah, and they only came like once a year, and I would go for all 3 days, and it was fun. But I didn't, you get to see people there, but I didn't really know nobody. But now it's a whole different thing because, like you said, I got friends, and we meet up there, and yeah. So it's definitely something, yeah.
Back in the day, if I can find it here, I thought I was going to try to turn to one about having too much trouble. You know what it is, what it's like when you want to do something on real quick. You can't get it done, but well, I can't find it. But in the back of the old comics, the only way you could correspond with other fans was with correspondence. They used to actually put their addresses when their letters they wrote, right? They don't do that no more. It's called doxing now. But today, that's how people met. And I wrote a few letters to people. And but the great thing is now is like with YouTube, I know there's a lot of negatives about social media, these days, and it's true. There's a lot of negatives. There's a lot of trolls out there. But like, if it wasn't for being here, I wouldn't get to meet you guys, man. I have friends around here. I don't see a lot because I was, I'm disabled. But even if they were around and I was like, oh, this such and such comic here is the first appearance of blah blah blah, it'd be like, they'd look at me like I was an alien, like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, man. I don't give a fuck about Star Wars. And this is my outlet to talk about movies and comics, man. And I got to meet some great people. He says, Phil says his address and legal name are in Howard the Duck magazine #3. I got a copy of that. I'm going to send you a letter now. You better watch out, Phil. Send you a letter, man. I think I got that issue. But also another guy, Howard the Duck. And shout out to Phil's Treehouse and everybody in the chat. Please sub them up. These guys are good people. We got a lot of good people in this community, including you, Bobby. You really support a lot of people on here, and you show up for the chats, and I really appreciate that, man. When I see you in the chat, I just want you to tell you that.
Appreciate you, man. Yeah.
But get to know you a little bit better, I mean,
oh, sorry, man. But yeah, speaking of friends, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting older too. I've been around for a while, and life's about a series. Life's about sequences of hellos and goodbyes. You meet people, and then one way, it just say, it's how life goes, man. Well, I had two of my best friends. One guy I grew up with like from second grade. We went all the way through high school, and I was the godfather of his kids. He's the godfather of my kid. Well, he passed away during the COVID time. Not from COVID, but he got sick and he died. And then another best friend, he was like the same age as me, and I met him from the cons. And he was a model maker. He was an artist, and he passed away too at the same time. And it was just, and I didn't know about YouTube or none of that, man. So it was like a sad, lonely time for me. You know what I mean? I was tripping, and then I discovered you guys on YouTube, you know, just by accidental. I started watching these shows about, you know, Reggie Collects and Comic Tom and people talking about comics, and the PCP Army. Yeah, I fell in with those guys. You know what I mean? They greeted me. They took me in. So yeah, stationed to them. You know, I got much love, and yeah, now I got friends. You know, I feel like I got friends. You know, it's virtual friends, but I feel like I got friends all around the world. You know what I mean? I got
Yeah,
friends in England and Australia and Canada. You know what I mean? I met a lot of people. You know what I mean, through this. You know what I mean? So it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. I never thought, you know, I'd be doing this and, you know, doing like we do. You know what I'm saying? But it's a cool medium. Yeah, yeah.
got
So I'm
Bill
here to
Evans at the
entertain you,
station.
man. Station,
And
brother.
I like, speaking of station, man, Fable's one of my favorite people, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
man. Like I
you know,
said,
he's a good dude, man. And we
all
gonna
those
show us
guys.
something? What you
I
got
want to
there?
show you some Captain America, man. I know that's your guy. You know what I'm saying? This is a little
Okay.
collection of that Secret Empire. And this is where Captain America, he got disenchanted with America because of what was, you know, Nixon was in cahoots with the Secret Empire. And so he
Yeah,
just said, I'm going to hang up my shield and you can have it and stuff. Yeah. This is the collected version, but here's the raw. Yeah, I got the this is the
yeah, that's when he became nomad, right?
yeah, that's when he became Nova. Yeah, I got that one right here. Let me see.
Yeah, he was just a man about a cut. And you know what was really timely about that was it came out during the Watergate scandal, right? So there were a lot of people that were kind of disenfranchised, you know, disillusioned with what was going on in politics.
But I
Yep.
love these. Yeah, I love the artwork and right. Yeah, and so yeah, it kind of reminds me of the present time. You know what I'm saying? Got a little disillusion, but
Yeah, we got like everybody divided. We need to all come together, you know.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a beautiful cover, man. I believe
that's a
that
real.
is that Zek.
Yeah, and
I love
Newsy too. Yeah, yeah. Found
Black
that.
Zek was always good at drawing Captain America, dude. You know,
I like. I
Deathlock,
like.
one of the most underrated characters ever, in my opinion.
Yeah, I love Deathlock. Yeah, that's where George Perez first work was in that
Oh yeah,
Deathlock. Yeah, there's a cool Mike Zeck cover though.
did
Yeah,
he do Perez did some Man Wolf too? Remember? I think it was Man
yeah,
Wolf. Oh, that right there is one of my favorite covers.
yeah,
Yep,
man.
Metal Elf's right. Zek, goodness.
I feel that way sometimes. You know what I mean? Like Cap right there. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? But man, I love this country. I love these people. And as I'm saying, we got to stick together, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
yeah.
there's
Oh,
some Kirby
that's a
goodness.
classic Kirby.
Yeah,
Right? The Mad Bomb issue was a good one.
yeah. And then here's that one you were showing me earlier. Yeah, that
Oh yeah.
I believe that Severinsen. Yeah, Marie
I think it's
Severinsen did that.
Yeah, I think it's Severanson. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Cosmic Cube.
Here's another.
Some Tales from Suspense. I've been getting into them lately because everybody was like, "Well, if you're collecting Cap, you got to get Tales from Suspense." I'm like, I'm not made of money. I'll have to go back and get those later to get this
Yeah, if you
Cap.
can find it. Yeah, if you can find them. Yeah, this was when he was Nomad and that dude took his place and stuff. Yeah, watch out. It's
Oh
the new
yeah,
Captain America. Yeah.
yeah. They've had a couple of guys try to replace him. Remember, like
Yeah,
John Walker, and then
yeah. Those were some good ones too. But here's right here. Yeah, here's where he's tearing down the East Wing. Yeah, right here. Yeah.
the third week. Yeah, I got that comic. I
Yeah.
also got the one, the Amazing Spider-Man one, where it's got Spider-Man holding the flag and Red Skull's behind him. You know,
Oh
that's
yeah,
good one right there, man. You got Falcon, OG
yeah.
Falcon, the OG Falcon.
Spider-Man and that. And here one more. I got this one signed by Mr. Byrne. Yeah, the collective John Byrne one.
War and Remembrance.
Yeah, man. So I wanted to show off my Captain America and yeah,
I
a
always like to see
few.
the Captain America, Bobby. Hey, you
Yeah,
got
man.
any art projects you want to show us? Why you got you got
Oh,
screen?
I got that one I just finished. Yeah, I was showing. Yeah,
Yeah,
that.
show us backstage. Show everybody. It's an homage to
Yeah.
the first appearance of the Hobgoblin.
It's that Batman, Deadpool, which, I mean, I like those crossovers, and then you push this and he rips it. Yeah. It's kind of, yeah.
That's awesome,
Yep.
man.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I did that one. Yep.
That's pretty dope, man. It's pretty dope. And you'll be on is it what is Roscoe's show tonight?
I don't think it's tonight. I think it's next Monday.
Oh, next Monday. You're gonna be on there next. You're not gonna be on there, but you're gonna be. You got some art. We'll have a
Yeah,
surprise. We'll see
yeah.
that next week, though. You don't have to show it right now because we want that to be a surprise. And
There you
Jeff said
go.
he said that was fantastic, super unique.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Bobby always got a good eye on finding stuff. Like I've seen you show off some like finds you found, like some toys and stuff at like flea markets and stuff, or like stuff you had as a kid.
Yeah.
And, oh yeah, Roscoe Johnson Monday. I think Jeff's going to be on there one time. Jeff's been he's getting to get in the drawing a little bit, man. He's not bad at it. I was trying to encourage him, like I'd like to get some guys together and do a comic book because I had an idea for a guy that's like I'm from Kentucky, so I live in the mountains, so we got a lot of bootleggers and moonshiners and like that. So I thought it'd be a good idea if we had like, say there was a secret army base where they're trying to make like super soldiers under the mountain, right? And the super soldier stuff they're using leaks out to the ground, and it gets into this guy's moonshine still, right? So when he drinks the moonshine, he gets superpowers. Him and his hunting dog. And he like goes around fighting like Sasquatch, like stuff like that from like cryptids and stuff. And I thought it'd be pretty cool. I just need somebody to draw it.
That sounds pretty good, man. I like that. Yeah.
It'd be a good little Kickstarter thing, I guess. It'd be like an indie thing. But I don't know, man. That's eventually maybe we can do it though. You never know. We got like a whole network of brothers and sisters on here.
Hell yeah, man.
Including you, man. I mean, some of these, we got a lot of talented people that, they might not be like well-known people or nothing, except in our little circle, but that don't mean they're not talented. It's like I always say with like people like, for every guy that was like made it like Jimi Hendrix, man, there's probably 10 guys or more guys out there that can play just like him that never got discovered. That doesn't mean they're not talented.
Oh yeah, man. You need a venue, need a chance. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
The character you was describing though, I like that, man. Yeah, the moonshine. Yeah, does he have a name, or are you just saving that for?
I don't know yet. I'd have to think up a name. If you got a name, I'm willing to listen.
I'll see what I can do, man. Yeah, but back in the day, we had a group of I was with some guys, and we used to play dungeons, D&D. And then they came out with like a Marvel version of D&D, and you could play your favorite superheroes, and you rolled the dice, you had hit points and all that. And we had one guy would always get his character killed. He'd get Captain America killed or Spider-Man killed. Like, man, how you gonna do that? We get mad. So then we like, let's make up our own characters, and that way, if you get it killed, So we wrote up our own characters. Yeah, and there was a character that I made up. He was called EZ, and he had found a batch of cannabis growing out there in the desert where the Hulk gained his powers, where the test site where the bomb went off. And so he found this cannabis, and whenever he smoked it, he grew like super strong and powerful. But the more mellower he got, the stronger he got. So yeah, if he got real mad, he started weakening. Yeah.
He's smoking that gamma weed.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome, man. I like it.
Yeah.
The gamma weed. Yeah. You got the gamma chronic. We got the gamma chronic. And hey, you know what? That's even before like, Kevin Smith had Blunt Man and Chronic. You had that guy.
Yeah.
So you're like your time on that.
Yeah, man.
Well, he should have called him. He should have had like a 420 like emblem on his chest or something. or like a pop.
That's probably before they was calling saying 420. Yeah, that was way back. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. I didn't even know what the hell that was till I was out of high school. So, but I thought I learned that from like Cypress Hill or something. I don't know. But
And I had this magic dude. I forgot what his name was. I think his name was Avatar. Yeah, and he was like this Asian magician dude, and he had these different masks, and he could switch out his mask, kind of like that Marvel character, the Hallows Eve.
yeah,
But he had different masks that had different powers and stuff. And yeah, little did I know that I'd be wearing a mask and doing all this. Yeah, because this was years ago. So yeah. It's crazy how things work out.
Well, I like the what does he say here? He says, "I'm here to save the day after my nap." Yeah. And he goes, he smokes the gamma weed, and then he gets like super munchies. You know, he's like,
Yeah.
that's like his kryptonite, right? Like he gets some like flaming hot Cheetos and be like his kryptonite. Like, oh, he gets sober up. You don't want to sober up. I just thought it'd be a cool idea. You know, like here's this guy. He's like getting half sloshed on moonshine, and he gets superpowers. So he wouldn't be able to do good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hammered to get. So you can make it a comedy too, right? I guess.
Hell yeah. You gotta have a comedy. Those are like my favorite characters. You know, I'm drawn to all characters. I like cartoon characters and, you know, any kind of anime, you know, any type of drawn, you know, thing. I'm drawn to it. So yeah, that I like characters that are funny. So like the Teen Titans, I like the Changeling or Beast Boy because he's like the funny one of the group. And I like the Thing because he's the funny one of the group. You know, he uses his humor as a shield or whatever. Whenever he's nervous or whatever, he'll say something funny or.
And him and Johnny kind of go at each other all the time. You know, it's kind of I like they're always like they're back and forth. That's
like
kind
a
of
family.
what I liked in that movie. I thought they kind of nailed that. Like with him and Johnny, the way their relationship is. You know, he's like, say it. He goes, I'm not going to say it. He's like, say it. Trying to get him to say clobbering time. You know, and you know, well, the thing is about like I can relate to characters like that in the X-Men, like you know, the Thing and Hulk, because they're these guys that they want to do good, but people look at them like they're monsters. You know. Like they judge a book by its cover, right? You got picture of him, he's covered in rock, he's look like a rock monster, but he's probably like got the biggest heart out of all four of the Fantastic Four, in my opinion.
Yeah, man. You guys have a big heart to pump the blood through that body.
That's absolutely right. And you gotta be tough to go through life like that, because I mean, you know, you're probably gonna get a lot of, you know, like one of my favorite stories from Fantastic Four was the anniversary border issue. I can't remember what number it is, but you know the one where Barry Windsor-Smith did the cover and he's got like his hat, the hat up.
Yeah, hat and trench coat. Yeah.
And that was just a great story. Like it was kind of like a one-off story, but it was just a really like I felt like you got to know more about Ben Grimm, you know.
Yeah.
Story. And then I got another one. I can find it here. I believe it's Barry Windsor-Smith too. And I'm sure you as a Thing fan have this one. Sorry, man. I got to move all my. I use my short boxes as coffee tables and shit. You know, so I probably shouldn't do that, but. Here we go. The Marvel Fanfare.
Oh yeah, I know that one exactly. I got it autographed. I got mine signed. I met him. Yeah, I met Barry Windsor-Smith. Yeah, I got mine signed. Yeah, I love that cover.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Man. To Johnny for your best pal, Benjamin.
Yeah.
I like those, like that. It's like those fanfares were awesome, man. Like, and then I like that kind of stuff though, Bobby. Like, because I don't know about you, I didn't have a lot of money sometimes growing up, so I would get like the Marvel team ups or like the 2-in-1. You know, or a team book like the Avengers, and you get all these other stories kind of chalked into one book. You know,
exactly.
Marvel Comics Presents was like that. There's like 3 or 4 stories in each book.
Exactly, man. Yeah, I'm the same way, man. We were just cut from the same cloth there. Yeah, but that story you just brought up with the Thing, the Johnny takes some macaroni and cuts it and glues it to his face, and he thinks he's growing a beard. He's
Oh
like, what
yeah,
the hell? Yeah. And then they had him with a beard in the movie. So I'm like, what the heck? You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm sure there's some
yeah.
comic
But
where he had a beard, but I've never seen it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
beard
I
thing
didn't
was kind
know.
of weird, man. I mean,
Yeah.
really.
That was
But I
kind
mean,
of weird, but it
it didn't
didn't.
take
Yeah.
me
It
out.
didn't.
So
Yeah. No, I still like that movie. I really, yeah. I'm easily entertained. And, I like those Jessica Alba ones. You know what I'm saying? I like all so yeah.
I even
I
kind of
like
like
it a
the
lot.
crappy one. Remember the Roger Corman one?
I've never sat through it, but I know what you're talking about. The Doom looked pretty good. The costume for Doom looked pretty good. But yeah,
It
it's
wasn't
corny
bad.
as hell.
Yeah, the rest of it was kind of like but they didn't really
The
have
thing,
the budget. Even back then you didn't have the special
no.
effects know-how.
Yeah, no. Back then it was like practical. Yeah, they were lucky to have what they had. Yeah, but the thing is, my favorite character. He's the one I related to. When I was coming up, I could. He talked like a regular guy. And he was funny and. Like Reed Richards was talking two big words, and Thor was all talking all ancient Greek or whatever, ancient
Val, Val and
yeah,
Bus and
this
all that
now and
crap.
that. Yeah, I was like, man, this is Shakespeare. I can't read all this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but I like him now. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, the was just the thing was the one I gravitated to. He was I could see myself in him, and yeah, he's my favorite. I
The
got
blue-eyed, ever-loving thing, from Yancey Street.
yeah,
He
man.
he was like a no-nonsense guy, though. Like he was from the street. You
Yep.
know, I think. What do you think that? I think like the Thing was probably the character that was most like Jack Kirby
Yeah.
in real life. He was kind of standoffish a little bit, like he didn't want to let nobody in. Like, like the reason a lot of things is like, Stan Lee, I know he took a lot of credit that maybe he shouldn't have, but I think one of the things was that like Jack Kirby was more concerned about doing his art. And he didn't really promote himself as well. And then Stan Lee was good at promoting.
Yep.
So they were kind of a good team together. And I mean, I don't agree with like a lot of what Stan did, but like both were like integral parts of our childhood, weren't they? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like important. They were important. Both of them were very important to me. Hey, Pops is a real one too. He's awesome. It's
Oh yeah,
shout out to
man.
him and his son, Mark, Legion of Comics. I met those two guys at Heroes Con. I hope you're there next year, man, because I'm definitely going back. They got me hooked on it, Bobby, and I'm only a few hours away from there. I'm about 6 hours from
Oh
Charlotte, so
shit.
it's not that bad of a drive, for me.
No, that's not bad at all. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but like, so we got some more of the YouTube fam coming down next year. But one of these days, I wish I had like all the money. Like was super rich. I could just fly everybody out. But
Yeah, man.
it is. Yeah, there's some
Oh
metal out of Pops. But yeah, the Thing. I don't know. I just I kind of have a appreciation for him too. I think as a kid too, he just looks kind of cool. That orange and he's made out of rock.
yeah.
But he's like, I think we could agree. If he sees I'm still breathing, I'll be there. Hell yeah, hell yeah. I look forward to that. I got to eat breakfast with them guys at the Westin, man. I was sitting there one day eating breakfast and looked over, and there was like Roy Thomas and like Don Rosa and Chris Claremont eat breakfast together. It's not too many times you get to see something like that.
Yeah.
And they're all super nice, like Don Rosa's a super nice guy. He did all those Uncle Scrooge books, man, and he didn't get a lot of credit from Disney, but that's kind of like Disney's modus operandi, right? Their MO. They don't like to give
Yeah.
artists. They never did, And I don't know, man. I think like a lot of them are underappreciated. Can you name a
Yeah.
few? Like I try to think like. Now we were talking about earlier. I forgot to mention that. I want to ask you that. So you were talking about like when growing up, I was like that too. Like you said, I didn't really pay attention to the artists or writers. I didn't either. I just do what I liked. You know what I mean? And then I come back and find out, well, Larry Hama wrote this or Claremont wrote that. I remember seeing their names, but then like when you look back later, you're like, oh, okay. That's why I like that was because that guy was working on it, or like, I don't know. So what are your favorite teams? We talked about Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, what are some other teams you like like Artist and Ryder that teamed up a lot?
Well, like you were saying, Marv Wolfman and Perez, they went to do the Titans. I was more Marvel heavy, where I still am, but because to me DC was like they weren't even connected. Like one story might be Batman meets a Martian or something, in the next issue he's over here meeting Abraham Lincoln or something like that. It didn't. There was no consistency, or they didn't look back. Like Marvel, they was like this happened last issue, or what I mean. It was like
Yeah.
they were connected. But when Marv Wolfman and Perez, when they went to do the Titans, to me it was like they took the Marvel style over there to DC, and it just worked. You know what I mean? I was, I first picked up issue 10 of the Teen Titans, and I said, "Whoa, what's this?" I said, "Damn, this is yeah." So I went back and bought the first 1 through 9, and I got the whole run of the Perez and Marv Wolfman run. So yeah, that I was big on them. Yeah, and then like I said, John Byrne. I don't know who was writing those, but I always gravitated towards him. Chris Claremont, yeah, John Byrne, Chris Claremont, the X-Men run, and that was hard to beat. You know what I mean? And Dave Cockrum and Claremont. You know what I'm saying? That they were on a special tip. They were doing just every issue was like out of they were knocking them out of the ballpark. Yeah.
Even Silvestri and Claremont were pretty good together for a minute.
Yeah.
Even JR. I know some people kind of crap on JR now, but
no, I never will. You know what I mean?
Same thing with Frank Miller. You'll never hear me say a bad thing about Frank Miller or John Romita Jr. I'll tell you something about John Romita Jr. I met him. I'm sure you probably met him too. One of the nicest guys you'll meet.
Yeah, man. Like I said, that makes a big difference, when you meet somebody and you have a good interaction with them.
Yeah.
And then, and so then when you see their book on the stand, you're like, oh shit, let me get that. You know what I mean? That dude was cool. You know what I mean? Yeah, let me pick that up. And it's like, I like to draw. I'm kind of critical of my artwork. You know what I mean? Because I've seen so many cool artists and I've studied art. You know what I mean? Just not through school or nothing, but just with my own eye. You know what I mean? And I like what I like. And so I'm pretty critical of my stuff. You know what I mean? Like I should be able to, do better. You know what I mean? But so I don't criticize, hey man, how many comics have I drawn? You know what I mean? So how can I criticize, this person, this guy's, got a library of work, you know what I mean? Yeah. And like I said,
I'm not going to clown on them, man. Like that's not an easy thing to do to come out with something like every month like that. And sometimes multiple titles they're working on, so it's not easy to come up with another. And the one thing we were talking about, you mentioned Marv Wolfman and Perez with New Teen Titans. New Teen Titans and Uncanny X-Men were probably the best two series in the 80s. They were the hottest series in the 80s for both companies. Pops is saying here, he says, Jerry Siegel and Paul Ryman on the Mighty Crusader, favorite of mine as a kid. Yeah, I like the old stuff, older stuff like that too. Like what's the feel say? Roscoe and I love that you share your art on drawn to you, Bobby.
Yeah, man. Looking forward to this week, man. I'm working on a couple of pieces right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to see a sneak preview. You're gonna like it. Y'all gonna like it. I'm just saying right now.
Drawn to you, yeah. Monday nights, Roscoe, yeah. Come join us over there.
You got to put one of those on the cover, man. You got to put one of those on the cover, by the way.
Yeah.
Be kind of interesting.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. I just like talking like this. That's why I like to see. I used to have like a list. I'd be like, so what is your favorite color or whatever, or what some bull crap like that. But like, it's better when we just talk like this, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
I just enjoy it more. It's just more enjoyable. We got shout out to Metarog. I got him on in the background on mute. Metarog. He's one of them guys been around for a while on the YouTube.
Swag that says, do the Metarog. Do the Metarog.
I caught doing the Charlton because he loves those Charlton comics, man. You
Heck
know,
yeah, I do too. Yeah.
hey, but you know what? I tell people they shouldn't sleep on Charlton because they had some pretty good stuff.
Like I
I'll
said,
tell
like
you
I
another
tell my, yeah, I haven't met a comic I didn't like. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there's always
one.
something in there I don't like. Yeah.
And I'll tell you, I want to show you one that I've been getting into lately. That I just kind of like. I mean, I've seen them, but I didn't really know the backstory until I like Metarog and some of the other people in the community that know more than I do. You know, kind of explained it to me where they came from.
Mhm.
It's this Atlas Comics, man.
Yeah, man. I love that Wolf. I got issue 1 and 2. Yeah, I got mine signed by Larry Hama. Yeah. I don't have that Iron Jaw. That's nice. Yeah. Those
I
Atlas
was
comics.
like,
Yeah.
I know the story was like, you know, yeah, Atlas was good, well, and like it didn't last long, right? It didn't last
Mm.
long. It was like these creators decided they were going to go off, and it was kind of uh, before like you know, Image was ever like even a thought, right? Before like Tom Farley were even probably little toddlers or something, but yeah, Atlas Seaboard was awesome. Yeah, I'm trying to get all of them now. I know there's not a lot, but like what's Jeff saying? Is freestyle interviews are better because they're more natural and free flow. Yeah, exactly. But like, yeah, the more I learned about Atlas, the more I like it. The great art. And this is it pops up a couple years they were done. That's too bad because they had some great stories. I've only got like about 3 comics, but like I got another one called Mordock or something like that. I think it's called Mordock
Yeah.
or something like that. And I got that from Lady Fantastic at Heroes Con. Shout out to her. She gave me a couple of comics while I was there, you know, and Morlock 2000. I think it's Morlock or something like it. I don't feel like getting
I
back in
can
this
see it
box.
in my mind. I know yeah, I know what you're talking about because I can see the cover in my mind. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Let's talk about the Eclipse comics in the '80s too. Yeah. Speaking of that, here I got one right here. They had some great art, kind of more adult-oriented stories, you know, a little bit. But yeah, they were great. So I can find one here. Also, me and Bob, you were talking about this earlier. The Elementals, like underrated indie series from the '80s. My boy,
Yeah.
shout my buddy Psychotronic Squirt Gun. He hooked me up with these because you know I liked them.
Yeah.
Here I got one from Pops. Hey Pops, check this out. All new
Uh,
Cheyenne Kid, Charlton, and we got if I can find it now. Watch me say that. You know, hey Bobby, remember I was saying earlier? You'll say something, go, oh, I'm going to bring this out, then you can't remember where it's at.
yeah. That's what I say. Comic gremlins, man. You got comic gremlins.
Yeah, it's like
You,
crazy. Yeah, Comico. Yeah. Well,
I
anyway, it
got
was
some.
Eclipse Comics, but it was an Eclipse Comics book. But like, also Dave Stevens did stuff for Eclipse Comics. You know, like Alien Worlds and
Yeah, yeah.
great stuff, man. Yeah. I didn't mean to interrupt. What were you gonna say?
No, yeah, just like what you were saying, man. Yeah, that and Dave Stevens. Yeah, like it was crazy because my friend, I was talking about him earlier. He passed away. He was into Dave Stevens like before. You know, he was telling me, man, you should check out this. Like it's cool, but and then you know now it blow up. Now you can't. Yeah, they're hard to find, and if you find them, they're expensive. But yeah,
Yeah.
he was into him, and he had met him, and he said he was a real cool dude. Yeah,
Another one took it too early. Get cancer. You
yeah,
know, it's
yeah, man.
yours both, man. Like I hate cancer. It killed my stepdad and a couple of my uncles. You know, one uncle had he was in Vietnam. Had Agent Orange kind of ate away at him. You know,
Damn it,
uh,
man. That sucks.
unfortunately, you know they send them off the fight, but they don't have anything to hit. You know, and then they end up getting sick over there. You know, but
Yeah, man.
but he was proud to be in the army, man. He always told me about being in the army, but I don't want to get all depressed uh, on here. But anyway, then I had another uncle. That's what got me back into comics, man. He had passed away, and he had a bunch of like um, the hardcover edition of the EC Comic Collection. It had
Wow.
one signed by Bill Gaines and Wallace Wood.
Damn. That'd be a
Uh,
nice
yeah, I sold some of them for my mom because they kind of were hers, and she needed the money. But like I kept a couple of them, you know. Pops saying Martin Goodman started Atlas Comics because he got pissed at the folks that bought out Marvel at the time lied to him about keeping his son Chip as on his publisher.
Yeah, I
So
heard that
it's like,
story.
like they were the Image Comics before they were even Image Comics with a thought. You know what I mean? Like want to do a creator like thing. So they kind
Yeah,
of laid the groundwork for people like McFarlane, those guys that wanted to go out on their own later. You know,
they tried it. Yeah,
hey,
but Marvel,
it's
yeah,
always,
did them
it's
dirty.
always,
Yeah, Marvel did them dirty.
yeah, it's a hey, it's always a ballsy move when you have to go out on your own against a couple of giants like DC and Marvel. Because they can crush somebody.
Yeah, yeah,
And
man.
well,
What you were
they're
saying,
always go ahead.
what you were saying earlier about your dad used to bring you comics from these different bases. Do you have a lot of Mark Jewelers?
You'd think I would, but no, I don't remember like any of them. I don't know if it was like he got them somewhere else, but like I know when he would go away on the maneuvers, he would come back with these comics. I guess not all of them were. Were all of them Mark? I don't know if some of them were. Maybe some of them weren't or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah,
I don't know. That, but you know what? Some of them could have been, and I wouldn't know because they're gone now. So I don't know what happened to them. So
like I really didn't pay attention till people were talking about them, but I happened to the last year I have at least two Mark Jewelers that I found in the wild, and but more than Mark Jewelers, what I like a double cover. Uh, yeah, when you can find a double cover, I mean, in my lifetime so far from On the Hunt, I found three comics that have double covers on them. Yeah,
I've never seen one in the wild. I've seen you show them like on I think you had one on Instagram a while back.
yeah, yeah.
I never seen
That's
anything. I saw a guy once that had one that was a triple cover.
I seen one like a five cover one, yeah, and I was like, "What the hell?" Yeah, that's got to be thick as hell. What I mean, that's you would notice that right off the bat.
Yeah, I
I would
know.
think.
And I heard that CDC grades every cover.
Yeah, because I have one slabbed. I had from that same spinner rack, that 7-Eleven that I went to as a kid. I started collecting. The first comic that I bought with my own quarter was FF 150. And I went back. I would keep going back every month trying to find the new issue. Well, I have issue 154 that I bought from that same 7-Eleven, and it had a double cover. And I was like, as a kid, what I mean? I was like only 9, 10 years old. I was tripping out. What's this? And it took a lot for me not to tear that cover off and stuff, right? Because the cover on the inside looked
Yeah.
cleaner, but I didn't do it. And then when I did a submission, I sent that away to get graded, and it came back like the outside cover was like a 5.5, but the inside cover is like a 6.5.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah,
I
well, I
bought
bet
it.
the urge to like tear that off and like put it on your wall as a poster was probably strong, though, wasn't it? Like, oh, I
Yeah,
gotta
yeah,
pull this cover
exactly.
here.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
But I
lie.
found it in the wild.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, go ahead. Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, yeah. I had my LCS, and then I never really buy stuff online, buy comics online. I have to find it in physical. I have to be on the hunt
Yeah.
and digging through boxes. That's just the way I do it, man. Yeah, I don't never really, I never really bought nothing through. I never sent comics in the mail until, when I started doing AOKs and I sell a couple of artwork or something like that. But it was doing it, buying through the mail has always been like strange to me. Yeah, it's not, yeah. So I have to physically find it.
I wish I
Yes.
could go out more, but like I'm kind of limited, like how I can get out, and it's like a whole thing. My mom's not getting any younger. It's hard for her to like have to load up a wheelchair, and
Yeah.
so I don't. That's so. I'll tell you one thing. It's like a double-edged sword. It's fun to fight in the wild, but if you can't do it, it's great that there's like outlets where you can get stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hell yeah, man.
I don't know, man. That's the way I feel. Metal F said he has the first appearance of Shuri in a double cover.
Wow.
Oh, cool.
Wow. That's a good one. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Heck yeah. The
Yeah. I
guy
love
got.
it.
I was going to ask anybody in the audience if you got in the chat, if you got any questions you want to ask Bobby about his art or anything. I'm sure he'd be glad to answer them. And we got Janice Brooklyn. He says, Matt, Bobby, chat, just saying hello and happy Thanksgiving. Getting ready for the week. Well, I hope you and your family, JSS Brooklyn, have a happy Thanksgiving. As for everybody else in the chat, I hope everybody gets to spend some quality time with their family, eat a lot of turkey, sit in a recliner, and watch some football. Or if you don't watch football, just hang out with your grandkids or your kids. That's
Yeah,
the
man.
thing to do, you know.
Yeah, man. Yep. Family, friends, man. It's all about connections. Yeah.
Phil wants to always ask this question when I tell everybody he goes, pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm hungry, you know, I'll eat whatever, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. It's not my, you know, I never really order it, but if you order it, shit, I'll eat that shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if it's there and I'm hungry, you know,
Yeah.
especially if you, you know, if you're hungry
Yeah.
enough, you'll eat anything, though. You know what I'm saying? I've come up with some, like when I was under the influence of some herbal stuff before. I've ate some weird things. I'm just gonna say, you know, I'll tell you what I did one time. We had those, you know, those little Red Baron pizzas.
Yeah.
Me and my buddy got like a little bit, you know, smoked a little bit of that left-handed cigarettes, and we both made us put one in the oven, and then we took some ham and cheese
Pop,
and
pop.
stuff and rolled it up like a burrito and ate it.
Hell yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that shit. That'll save your life, man. Yeah.
Pizza burrito. It's like the pizza burrito, you know. Phil said that
You
was
guys might have been
gross.
onto something. Yeah, you guys invented the hot pocket. Yeah.
Hey, you never know. You never know. I don't know. Maybe we should have patented that, right? We should have like got a copyright.
Yep.
Like you come with, like I'm just saying, you come up with some weird things, like. And I tell you what, I've watched some of these people on. You ever watch these people on TikTok or on Reels, and they're making some kind of crazy food, and you're like, man, they had to be smoking weed. There's no way.
Yeah, that don't go together. You know what I mean? Caviar and cream cheese. And what are you doing, man?
Yeah. I dusted a whole flat of Oreo cookies. That's what I always used to joke. I said, instead of doing a line of drugs, do a line of Oreos. You know what I mean? Just eat you a whole like stack of Oreos.
Yeah.
It feels right. Every bag of Oreos is a single serving size, if you want it to be. But no, I saw some other day. There's a guy I watched that he like reacts to people's videos. You know the guys that do the reels where they react to somebody else's reel. And the guy was like, "I'm going to make my kids. I prepare my kids lunch every day. Today they're having lamb chops, truffle, mashed potatoes with some pickled, like some kind of fancy. It's all this fancy food, right?" And the guy was like, "Man, what are you doing, man?" He goes, "Seriously,
right,
he said,
right.
My kids got a bologna sandwich. And they was happy with that." And he said, "You're doing too much. You're doing too much." It's like a lot of these people do that for clicks. You know, they're like, "Oh, look at this guy." And it can't no way he was making his kid that for lunch. Come on, how much money this guy got? $1 billion or something? I thought it was like Jeff Bezos making lunch for his kid or something, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know, man. I appreciate you coming on. So Metal F says that sugar is 9 times more addictive than Coke. Good luck getting off those Oreos. Man, I don't know. Have you ever done any Never mind. All right. But sugar is addictive. Like it is, and it's not good for you. So if you all can limit, I don't want to tell you what to do. I'm a fat guy, so I can't really tell you not to eat sugar, but because I probably do too much of it myself, to be honest. But Bobby, I know you probably had a long day. I remember you telling me you had lots to do today, so I think we'll end it here, man. Hold on, what's Jeff saying or Phil? I'm not allowed to eat Oreos until I finish my Haagen-Dazs. The other day, she was on her reels and she said, "Have y'all ever ate that Haagen that ass?" That ass, ice cream. That's like, oh, you mean Haagen-Dazs? But anyway, Bobby, I really appreciate you coming on here, man. And why don't you tell everybody what you got, where you're going to be at?
Station, everybody. Yeah. Well, my dog's over here is crying, man. He wants to go out. But yeah, no, I'm just going to be looking forward to Thanksgiving, and the Chiefs are playing. And I got family, man, hanging out with them. That's it, man. And I really don't got no, and I got nothing going on YouTube. You can catch me on Tony Sanders The Hunt. I'm usually on there brawling, showing comics. And of course, the Blaine Fable show, when he comes back, I'll be there raring and ready to go. And of course, Sundays mornings, I'm usually a regular there, staple at the Church of Bleecker. Yeah, the comic book church, Sunday mornings with Bleecker and friends. Yeah. Yep.
Happy Thanksgiving, Easy. I just got one thing I want to shout out. Tomorrow night at 9:00, since in honor of Thanksgiving, my Good Cinema show that reviews movies, we're going to be reviewing a classic, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, starring John Candy and Steve Martin. So, everybody, if you're like hang out with the family, you want to kind of, have you seen that movie before? You know, and I don't think everybody's seen it. I think everybody's seen that movie. I hope. Come out in the chat and tell us what your memories of that movie are and your memories of John Candy. And I'd like to thank my guest, Bobby De La Ghetto, for being on the show. The one and only, the man behind the mask, I call him. And Uncle Stan used to always say, back when we was kids, until next time, true believers, Excelsior.
Come, son of Jarrell! Kneel before Zod! Snoochie boochies.